Well, hello again, everyone. This is Onres, just kind of walking you through a quick snippet what's going on in Crowfall right now. Um, People ask me questions all the time about the economy and how Crowfall is going to work out. I think things are coming pretty good. Here I am on an EK, an Eternal Kingdom. People use EK as a buzzword all the time. Eternal Kingdom is owned by a player, and they have purchased the right to create a plot of land and kind of build their own custom location. You can spend money in the store and buy more land, more buildings. If you look here, there's some pretty impressive bits and pieces here. It's an amazing mountain keep up there on the hill there. What I'm going to focus on here real quick is just the concept of vendors. So if you take a look here, these are vendor storefronts that were crafted using stone masonry skills. And so if you take a look here, I'll just interact with one of the vendors. Besides NPC vendors, which you see in game, players like myself and others, Sarather here's one, this is his EK, can craft and put vendors here to sell equipment. And I know we're in pre-alpha, and yes, this gold is going to poof here in the future, but it's still very interesting to see and try to understand how the give and take of the economy is going to work in Crowfall. So if we look at a vendor here, I love this, that now they show how much durability is left. So that's interesting, right? So at one time you couldn't tell unless you clicked on it. And so you can end up buying something that's a great price, and you buy it and you're like, wait a minute, it's got like 3 swings left on it. So here's somebody, but this is something really interesting. If you take a look, some of these were crafted by ANAP. Some of them were crafted by other players. And it's interesting because if they were crafted like KPV or, Bam Bam Barney, the killers that interact on this EK actually bring these back and give them to the crafters to say, hey, does anyone need these? And the crafters on the EK are actually flipping them through their vendors to generate revenue. Again, gold is kind of smoke and mirrors right now, but to be honest, if you spend 1,200 gold, you've got a pick that's 46. That's a really good pick, but you could use that to create 10, 20,000 gold pieces worth of ore or minerals or, well, actually gems since it's a pick. So this is an empty stall. So if you crafted a vendor, you could get an agreement with the person who owns this plot of land and actually place your own vendor here. That's my vendor over here. So I actually worked with Sarather, and I have the rights to actually have my own vendor here. And I don't have a lot on him right now. People keep buying stuff out. I've got this little Gin here. He'd make an amazing Gin Knight or Cleric. One of these days, maybe the next day or two, I'll fill him back up again. But I really wanted to show you this. So people talk about the PvP aspect and of Crowfall, and that's fun. But there's some PvE stuff that, because of the mechanisms and the mechanics and the gameplay that they've given us already, there's PvE that supports PvP. And so if you take a look here, Sarather and a couple other people have actually started creating bounties for various players, So quests, if you bring 250 dust to Sarather, he will create you 1 white armor part of some sort, right? Or, boy, Rana's got a couple of skulls up here. Top of the leaderboard. So if you come into the top of the leaderboard, you get a prize, right? Oh, what I know is Sunako here did 1,000 gold. Well, there are a couple of bounties. Wow, a couple of bounties. Somebody's paying some serious. Oh, 350. Sorry, Zybek. And they misspelled your name. Oh, that's hilarious and wrong. But see, that's the funny thing is that because of this type of stuff, you can actually go through and actually create your player-driven quests, player-driven bounty systems, and people say, well, big deal, it's gold, or big deal, it's money. Well, this right here, this 1,000 gold pieces. Don't spend the 1,000 gold. Take the 1,000 gold and sacrifice this. That's 1,000 experience, right? So if that's a green vessel and you're in a green vessel, hell, that jumps you up 2 levels worth of sacrifice just because you found this player, killed him, and ran that person's skull back here. I do like the fact that There are some Tark skulls. That's funny. See, this is what's funny. So they have a Zyvac skull here, and they know what the spelling is, and they purposely misspelled it on there. That's a little passive aggressive, and that's fun. So just a quick snippet on some of the PvE aspects on Crowfall and some of the economic pieces, and the fact that there are some PvE mechanics that I think is going to lead to some fun PvP in the future once this game really gets going with its live campaign. So have a good night.